Now that we have a company file set up, we should start entering data, right? Not yet. Before you get too far into setting up, you should take a look at your settings. You see, all the accounts you're about to set up and the transactions that you want to enter, they will all be drastically affected by your settings. If you don't take time now to set up your settings, you'll have to come back later on and edit all of that data anyway. Most settings are found in the Account and Settings menu, up in your gear icon. Two important notes about these settings. You don't need to use all of the settings we're about to review, and in some cases, you may not see them at all, because settings vary depending on your subscription level. Let's start with your Sales Settings tab. All of the most important settings are up at the top of the screen. Sales Form Content settings determine what fields show up on your invoices and sales receipts. If you need to track shipping, be sure to check the Shipping box and click Save. You'll also see options for sales forms in the Product and Services settings. For example, if you want to track quantity of one of your products, so you can look it up on a report later, check the Track Quantity and Price Rate box. Also, if you want to track inventory levels, like how much you have of an item on stock, select the Track Inventory Quantity on Hand box. Keep in mind that this is only if you want to track quantity of inventory in QuickBooks. Some companies choose to track inventory quantities outside of QuickBooks with other programs. There are a few important expense settings as well. Under the Expenses tab are settings for bills and expenses. If you need to track costs for specific jobs to measure profitability, it's important to turn on the Track Expenses and Items by Customer checkbox. This adds a new field to your expenses and bills so you can record which project you're spending this money on. Also, if you charge customers for those specific job costs, you'll want to make sure you turn on Mark Expenses and Items Billable. This section is also where you can turn on sales tax. We'll cover that in detail later in the class. Finally, there are some important advanced settings that you should check out. What if you need to track different divisions or departments within your company? Then you need to turn on Classes in the Categories section. Let's say you want to track the income and expenses for separate projects. Qubio Plus allows you to do this, but if you don't see that Projects tab on the left side of your navigation bar, you need to come in here and turn the Projects setting on. The last setting that we're going to take a look at is Rare. But if you have customers, vendors, or bank accounts that use other currencies, make sure to turn on the multi-currency feature. One note, this feature cannot be reversed, so make sure you need it before you turn it on. There are many other settings to make QuickBooks Online best fit your business, but you'll get to see those in use throughout the class. Remember, make sure that your settings match your business goals, and do it as soon as possible so you can avoid re-entering that data later on.